Okay, we are going to talk about ratios and proportions today. Now, my guess is most of you have been exposed to ratios and proportions. It's usually taught, if you came through maths class in 6th grade and 5th grade, you would have learned these. If you came from the public schools, it's sort of a possible hit and miss kind of thing. Gormley, I would think would. Some schools don't. Have you ever done that? Does that sound familiar to you, Averson? Ratios? Ratios? Okay. And so we're going to talk about these briefly. Ratios basically are fractions. That's all they are. Ratios are fractions. Now, there are a few ways to write ratios, right? And you don't have to always write them as a fraction. You could write them as a non-fraction. You could, if I said,
4 to 2 would be 4 over 2.
Right, so I could say 4 over 2, or I could say 4 to 2, or I could say, let's see, what was the other one? Oh yeah, 4 colon 2. Okay?
And you could also...
All of those are ratios. Yes?
So me and my school did these little graphs, recently actually. So you would first have the fraction 4 to 2.
Right.
And then you would also do the ratio, which would be 4 to 2. And then you would do the decimal, which is 4... Wait, 1 second.
2.0.
Yeah, it's 2.0.
But yeah, so...
No, it is, 1 sec. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so wait, I'm going to keep going with the lecture because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So 4 to 2, so this says 4 to 2. 4 to 2, 4 to 2. That's how you actually, you do ratios. However, I strongly prefer this one. All right? Think of ratios as always a fraction, okay? You're better off in the long run. I mean, if you see them, that's great. That just means that the first number is in the numerator, the second number is in the denominator. First number numerator, second number denominator. It's great, right? Turn it into a fraction because then you can put it into an equation. These are a little hard to put into an equation because you don't usually spell English words in an equation, right? And you don't usually put a colon in the middle of an equation, right? But you do put fractions in equations. So much easier to use a fraction when you're using these in with mathematical processes. Much easier. All right. So every ratio, actually, every fraction is a ratio. I can't say that's not written as a fraction, but it can be written as a fraction, right? That's not written as a fraction, but it can be written as a fraction. Every fraction is a ratio. Ratio. Okay.
Everything is a fraction.
What happens though when I say a ratio, I give you a ratio, and then I put an equal sign, and then I have a ratio. What is that called when I have a ratio equaling a ratio?
Equality.
A ratio.
One ratio equals another ratio.
Okay. It's called a proportion. Okay? That is called a proportion. So an example of proportion. An obvious example would be 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Right? That is actually a proportion. And it's true, right? If I simplify 2/4, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, that could be 1/2. 1/2 equals 1/2. That's obvious. But this is telling me I split it into 4 pieces, a pie into 4 pieces. And here I split the pie into 2 pieces. Right? I only had 2 pieces. I took one of the 2 pieces. But here, 2 of the 2 pieces equaled 2 of the 4 pieces equaled 1 of the 2 pieces. In other words, they're the same thing, right? 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 1/2 is the same as 2/4. It is. I could say 1/2 is the same as 50/100ths, right? Right? I would not.
Maybe.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
If it could be divided into it exactly 2 times, it's a half.
Right. Exactly. So in essence, those are ratios. Now, there is a really cool way to check to see if it's true. All right. And here's the cool way. It's called cross multiplying. Okay. So this is
I
this
just crossed one.
We already did this.
cross multiplying.
You've done cross
All right, I know. I think my guess is all of you have been exposed to this and have learned this, right? But I just don't know, so I have to teach it, right? So cross multiply would be like this. You do this 1 times 4, and then you write equals 2 times 2. So 1 times 4 equals 2 times 2. That equals 4 equals 4. Is that true? Yes, it works, right? Victoria, are you talking about this or about something else? What are you talking about? Just tell me.
We're talking about something else, but we're paying more attention.
So why? Why are you guys talking about something else during my lecture? I'm videotaping this, okay? It's not okay, okay? Not okay. This is why I have to teach it twice and 3 times, because people don't pay attention. Pay attention, please. All right. Sometimes though, you don't have a you have a variable in your in one of your ratios. So let's say I had this: x over 5 is equal to I don't know 3 over 10. Okay.
Well, this is trying to sound familiar.
And I want to know what x is. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cross multiply. So I do this times this, so that's 10x, right? And then I put an equal sign, equals. And then I do this times this, 5 times 3.
And
Okay?
then you figure out the
So
problem.
then I have 10x is equal to 15. And then I want to know what x is. How would I find x?
Divide by 10.
Divide by 10, right? So, and if I divided that by 10, if I divided it would be 1.5, right? Dividing by 10 just moves the decimal over 1, so it's going to be 1.5. So it's going to be x is equal to 1.5.
So
So
1.5 over 5.
so 1.5 over 5 is equal to 3 over 10. That is totally right. Okay? That's how
This is
you
starting to sound
solve
familiar.
proportions, okay? Now, sometimes though, you will see, can I erase this?
Yeah.
Sometimes you will get word problems like on the homework tonight. Where's the homework tonight? It's homework. What did I do with it?
Where is it?
It's right here.
Hey, proceed, Gary.
I just have to get an idea of what I did. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so here. So let's say we had a problem like this. The ratio of pomegranates, I don't know how to spell pomegranates, granates to aardvarks is 7 to 2. All right, so that's an example where you might see it written that way in a problem. You know, find, okay, but that's the ratio. Then it says there are 80 aardvarks. Find the number of pomegranates. Why didn't I use some pomegranate?
Just use P.
It's find the number of gram. Okay, so write that down. Make sure that's in your notes.
Wait, Gary. So pomegranates is 7 and aardvarks is 2.
That's one.
Well, okay, so wait. So has everybody written that down?
Yeah.
All right. So
Right
it
now.
says
Yeah.
the ratio of pomegranates to aardvarks. This is, if I was going to write this as a fraction, would I do pomegranates over aardvarks, or would I do aardvarks over pomegranates?
Pomegranates over
Right? Yeah, the first thing always goes in the numerator, then the second thing goes in the denominator. So I'm going to put that down here just to remind myself. Pomegranates over ards. Okay? Pomegranates over aardvark. That's really important. That's your little map that tells you what goes upstairs, what goes downstairs, right? So it says, I'm going to write this. It says the ratio of pomegranates to aardvarks is 7 to 2. pomegranates is 7, aardvarks is 2, right? And then it says there are 80 aardvarks. Uh-oh.
So
I'm going to put an equal sign
X over
now.
280.
Yes. So aardvarks go downstairs. You see that? There's my little map. It says aardvarks are downstairs. So over here, I've got my 80 downstairs because those are 80 aardvarks. What do I have upstairs?
Your X.
X, because I don't know what it is. So now
then
I
you
just
have
solve
to
for
cross
it,
multiply.
right? So I'm going to cross multiply. I have
2x equals
2x
7 times 8.
is equal to 560. Did I do that right? Gabe?
Yeah.
7 times 80.
All right.
Well, you're in the math teacher.
7 times 8 is 56 times with
Yeah, that's
added
right.
0,
Yeah,
560.
560.
All right, so I divide by 2. X is equal to 2, 6,
Wait, I don't
8,
get how you got
Yeah, it's 560.
2, 8.
560. So there's 280
7
pomegranates.
times 80.
We're good. Yeah, that's
I'm going to cross multiply. So 2x is equal
is starting
to
to look familiar.
7 times 80. So 7 times 80 is 560. Divide by 2, x is equal to 280. So then I come back and I say, it says find the number of pomegranates. So I do this, I say there, they asked it in words, right? The question, you answer your
There
question
are
in words.
280
There are-
pomegranates.
280 pomegranates. Can't stop. Why didn't I choose like dots,
Peaches.
right? Pomegranates. I should have said dots. Okay, there are 280 pomegranates. I'm going to put it in a box so that Gary can find the answer really fast instead of have to watch everything, read everything on your paper. There are 280 pomegranates. So that fist to 5. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
This
Do you
actually looks
understand?
familiar.
Do you understand the importance of writing this little map here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you know that pomegranates is going to be upstairs, aardvarks is going to be downstairs.
So whatever is first is up.
Right. So you won't have trouble with these. There is maybe 1 or 2 that'll challenge you a little bit, and that's good. All right, that is it.